Alright, so you're wondering what it costs to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, in this video, we're going to go over the cost of living right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, so stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? It's Sasha, your real estate agent here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and today we're going to go over the cost of living in Charlotte via buying a house, renting, utilities, transportation, groceries, everything you need to know about the cost of living right here. And we're also going to be comparing the cost of living here versus some other major cities where we're seeing a lot of people actually move here from. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos about Charlotte, North Carolina and some of its surrounding areas and answering any questions you guys might have for me. Alright, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is going to be housing. So Charlotte's median home cost as of right now is just under $229,000, with the national average being just above $231,000. So Charlotte is ranking slightly below the national average for housing costs. Now let's talk about renting. So renting has been getting a little crazy here in Charlotte. It has been going up yearly, but the average cost of rent right now in Charlotte is around $1,346, which is under the national average of $1,470. Now this is all depending on where you are in Charlotte. There's definitely some places where you can get it considerably cheaper or a lot more expensive. And in some cases, it's a lot cheaper to actually buy a house than it is to rent a house here in Charlotte. Alright, so we've talked about the median cost of buying a house here in Charlotte and the average rent price. Now, what about utilities? So the average utility bill in Charlotte is coming in at just under $170, and that is going to include your basic package, which includes electricity, heating, and water. And according to this statistic, this is for a 900 square foot condo. So I can let you know personally, I live in a townhouse that's just under 1,300 square feet, and I personally pay around $175 a month, and that does include internet. Electricity bill is going to vary. Usually for me, in the winter months and in the summer months, July and August, my electricity bill is on the higher end, anywhere from 100 to 120. Fall and spring, I'm sitting anywhere, 80 to 100. So roughly it's about $100 for me, and then obviously according to this I need to I need to call Spectrum and get my internet bill down from 75 to hopefully somewhere where the Charlotte average is around 58. But this is also going to depend on how big the house is. Now that we talked about utilities, let's talk about everybody's least favorite subject, which is going to be commuting. So yes, Charlotte does have traffic. Now, depending on where you're coming from, it could be better or it could be worse. Me personally, coming from Cleveland, Ohio, where in my opinion there was essentially no traffic, I did have to make some adjustments coming here, but it didn't take me too long to get used to it. Now, people that I've worked with in the past that are from California, New York, New Jersey, Boston, they have no problem whatsoever with the traffic down here. So the average one-way commute time here in Charlotte is about 25 minutes, which is less than the national average of about 26 minutes. Now, in regards to mass transit, apart from the buses that'll take you absolutely anywhere you need to go, we do have the Lynx Blue Line. The Lynx Blue Line has been open since 2007, and recently in 2018 they opened up the extension. So the Blue Line covers around just above 19 miles, and it'll take you from UNCC Charlotte, the college campus, take you through NODA, all the way to Uptown, which downtown, uptown, whatever you want to call it, and it'll take you to South End. And they do have some major plans on expansion within the next 10 years, but as of right now, they're just pulling the data together and kind of seeing where things are going to be built. And apart from Uber and Lyft, what's really popular down here is those Lime and Bird scooters. There's a lot of people in Uptown Charlotte that are commuting to work, back to work, just using those scooters. So those are always available to you if that's one way you'd like to get around. Now let's talk about my favorite category, which is going to be food and beverage. So we'll start with restaurants. So I'd say the average price at a restaurant that's mid-range for two people, including drinks, is going to be about $40 to $55. There's a lot of places where you can get cheaper than that, and you can definitely go on the higher end. Just depends on what you're into. I'll tell you, the burgers, the sushi, the pizza, there's just so much amazing food, and it's honestly very hard to keep up with all the new restaurants that are opening up. But there's definitely options for anybody. if you're vegan, if you're not into gluten, anything like that, there's a ton of options for you, so you don't have to worry about any of those issues. Moving on to Beverage. If you love beer like I do, you're going to love the brewery scene down here in Charlotte. There are tons to choose from. You have self-serve breweries. You have breweries that allow dogs, which is really fun on weekends if you don't want to leave the pup at home. They have games, huge outdoor spaces. Some of them are in industrial areas. It's just a really good time. And I would say the average cost of a beer is going to be anywhere from $4 to $7. Prices are going to vary where you go, but you're definitely going to have a lot of fun exploring all the breweries Charlotte has to offer. Moving on to cocktails. If you're a cocktail guy, you'll love the scene down here as well. You have cocktails ranging from anywhere from $8 all the way up to this absolutely insane price tag of $500. There's actually this place in the Ritz-Carlton. It's called the Punch Room. They have a cocktail that costs $500. I would read off the ingredients for you and let you know what's actually in it, but I can't pronounce them. If you're into something like that, you got the place. On average, cocktails are going to run you anywhere from $8 to $13. Some places you'll find it cheaper, some places more expensive. It all depends on what you're into. But there's no shortage of beer, cocktails, and good food in Charlotte. Now let's take a look at the cost of living in Charlotte versus some other major cities. Now by looking at this chart, you can definitely see there are some major differences with some of these other big cities. Now the good thing about Charlotte, with it being ranked just below the national average for cost of living, there's a good possibility you can be saving some money. This is all going to depend on where you live, your situation, and it is honestly by a case-by-case basis. Now let's take a look at the map of Charlotte and some of its surrounding areas to get a better feel for the average cost of living. So looking at a map of Charlotte, you can see all the surrounding areas. The areas with darker colors are more expensive to live, and the areas with lighter colors are less expensive to live. Now again, this is going to be on a case-by-case basis, and it all depends on where you want to be. Some places it's cheaper to rent or buy, and some places it's more expensive, but this map does a very good job of indicating those areas. Alright, thanks for watching this video. If there's any questions you have whatsoever, call me, text me, or email me. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye.